I'm doing this from a public space, so hopefully there won't be too much background noise, but I'll try to speak loudly. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. If you're just joining in, we're gonna get some yoga on, so go ahead and come to the center of your mat. And if you are already by a wall, awesome. And if you're watching this later, then get your practice ready by a wall. With that being said, go ahead and bring your hands to your heart center to begin this class. Maybe close your eyes or keep a soft gaze, relax the jaw, and simply notice how you're arriving in this moment. Maybe take a side of breath or two. Finding your comfortable place of where you are today and where you want to head. And not forgetting about the past, but not letting it define us. Not letting the pandemic of 2020 be the definition of why we make certain poor decisions in the future. It's okay to make poor decisions sometimes. I think that that's what eventually lead us to where we want to go in life and where we end up, the people we meet and the jobs that we get, etc., etc. But let's not just blame it on the pandemic or blame it on the alcohol or whatever. Ultimately, coming back to your center and taking in that every decision is right where you are, right where you meet today, and how you're feeling. It's completely valuable, and reminding ourselves that we are enough, but we are more than enough. Taking an inhale through your nose into your low belly. Expanding all four corners of our belly. Exhale, belly towards spine. As you kind of suck it in toward your belly button, or belly button back towards your spine. Gently lift your torso as you parallel your chin to the earth. Take another inhale. And then as you exhale, count 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax the shoulders. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue this at your own pace as I continue to guide us through this practice. Relaxing the muscles around your eyes, gazing at that space in between your eyebrows. As you inhale in the good stuff, exhale the garbage. Bringing yourself to a center, regathering, regrouping from wherever you are. This is your time to spend on your mat. Put everything else on pause. We'll deal with it when we deal with it. Bringing full attention, full awareness into our breath. And your following exhale, begin to rub your hands together, creating a little bit of heat. And then placing your fingertips, nice and warm fingertips, right over your eyes. And then softly begin to blink without opening. your eyes just a couple of times, and then begin to peek through the gaps of your fingers as you gently bring your hands back down to your heart center, bowing in gratitude for this life, for this practice, and then releasing your palms right back to your knees, joining your index and thumb for focus, for presence. Taking an exhale through your mouth as you inhale through your nose, keeping the breath of 6 counts exhale, 5 counts inhale. And in just short moments, we'll be bringing our breath to connecting it with the movement. So every time we do a movement, we take an inhale. As we go to the next movement, we take an exhale, and I'll guide us through this as best as possible. Now gently bring your hands, your spider fingers right in front of you, just simply walking from one, like out in front, and then choose a side, and then perhaps grounding your hips into the earth, keeping a long spine, a long torso, tucking your chin just slightly, just chucking it in. And then walking yourself half moon over to the opposite side. Taking yourself with an inhale, lengthen your torso, exhale, hinge at your hips forward. Begin to walk yourself back towards center. Maybe bend at the elbows, coming forward and down. And then inhale, rise up. Put your hands on your knees for support as you exhale, round your back. Inhale, swoop it forward like a seated cat-cow. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, swoop it forward, look up. And then exhale, round your back, chin toward chest, round the shoulders. Then go ahead and bring your knees up, soles of the feet are on the mat. Pulling yourself nice and tall through your knees, and then grabbing both of your hands and placing them over to your right side, trying to see if you can meet both palms into the earth, leaning just slightly, but trying to keep your hips grounded to the earth, pressing your knees in towards your arm and your arm towards your knees for support. Go ahead and inhale, gaze up. Go ahead and take another exhale, and on your inhale, come through center. We'll take it over to the left side, placing both of your hands down on the earth as best as possible, leaning just slightly if necessary, pressing your knee into your arm into your knee, and then go ahead and inhale, gaze up. One more inhale, coming through center, opening your legs out like a butterfly, soles of the feet meet one another, and then pressing your elbows down through your legs. Go ahead and inhale, pull your torso tall, and then exhale, hinge at your hips, come forward and down. Always lead with your heart, gazing down at the earth. Take an inhale. As you exhale, see if you can go a little bit deeper. One more inhale, rise up. And then extend your left leg out. Your opposite foot sole comes into your inner thigh. Inhale your arms up, rotate toward the extended leg. Exhale, forward and down toward your extended leg, feeling a stretch down the opposite hip. Keeping a tall torso, only hinging at your hips, bending at your elbows, coming forward and down. Here you can use a strap to pull yourself tall and forward. Inhale, begin to walk yourself back up to center, and we're going to switch the legs. Sole of your foot comes to your inner thigh. Inhale your arms up, rotate toward the extended leg. Exhale, coming forward and down as you hinge at your hips, lead with your heart. Inhale, full inhale, and then exhale. Feeling a stretch down your opposite hip. If you can dive into 3-part breathing, go ahead and do so now. Inhaling into your belly, up the lower ribs and into the chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Go ahead and inhale, rise up to center. Go ahead and open up both legs out, or not open, but stretch both legs out in front of you. And then coming, as you extend your toes up toward the sky, kicking through your heels, rise your torso up, almost as if you're lifting it off of your hips. And then inhale both of your arms up. Hinge at your hips, arms by your ears. Lead with your heart, coming forward and down. See if you can, not point, but draw your toes like Barbie feet. So you're pressing through the balls of your foot. And then release your calves. And then lift your heels and then walk them like a 1/2 inch further from your hips. And then go ahead and grab your peace fingers. If available to you, you can just grab on your shins here, coming forward and down, grab your peace fingers. Otherwise, pull yourself forward, tall spine, and then exhale forward and down toward the earth. Go ahead and round your back if you need to. Come as low as possible where you can here. Relaxing the neck for a moment. Taking another inhale, allowing the air to travel through your spine. And then exhale. Lift your torso gently, vertebra by vertebra, stacking them on top of each other. And then go ahead and gently heel walk yourself back into, we're gonna meet into a tabletop. So if you have something underneath you, remove that to the side. Actually, let's go ahead and go into a quick child's pose. So open your knees wide. Toes meet one another, placing your hands over above you. Rest your forehead onto the mat. Opening your palms nice and wide, middle fingers facing forward or pointing forward. Looking up at your hands. Go ahead and come up through that tabletop so your shoulders are above your wrists, your hips are above your knees. And then as you open your fingertips nice and wide, go ahead and exhale, press the earth. So if you're right here, press the earth away from your shoulders, and then really see if you can almost open the earth through your palms. So you're doing it's almost like you're going outward with your palms. And then curl your back toes under, and then sink your hips towards your heels. Again, for a child's pose, allow your hands to travel further away from your body, from your shoulders. Take one more inhale here. This is a resting pose. Come back to a child's pose anytime you need it. Go ahead and look up at your hands as you rise up through your tabletop one more time. Stack your shoulders above your wrists and open your palms wide. Pressing the mat outward as you curl your back right toes under, lift up, rotate that right hip down in toward midline. Keep pressing your shoulders away from the earth. And then go ahead and exhale, bend at your knee, and then inhale. See if you can try to get it to touch toward your head. Draw your head back. And then exhale, curl it in toward your heart center. Chin toward chest. Inhale, kick that foot toward your head behind you. Head reaches back toward your foot. And then exhale, bring it in toward your heart center. And we'll take that one more time. Kicking your foot behind you. And then your head toward your foot as you exhale in toward your heart center. Step that right foot through. And then walk your foot over to the outer edge of the mat. And then the outer edge of your foot is parallel to the outer edge of the mat. Go ahead and rise your torso. Hands on your thigh as you inhale, pressing your hips forward. And then check that your knee is above your ankle. If it goes any further, go ahead and walk that foot forward just a little bit more. And then go ahead and bring your hands back down to the earth as you curl your back toes under. Rise your leg and engage your thigh. Rotate that thigh in toward midline. Press through the outer edge of your foot on your front foot. And go ahead and gently exhale. Begin to extend that front leg. Feeling a stretch down the right side of your leg, your hamstring, your hip. Go ahead and bend at your front knee one more time. And right where you are, place your left hand underneath your left shoulder as you rotate open over to the right side of your body. Extend your arm over above you or keep it on your right, on your back for support. Either or. Keeping the left leg engaged, the left glute. And exhale, bring it down. Go ahead and release your left knee down onto the mat. Top of your foot comes down. And then extend the right leg, wrapping your arms above it. Toes come toward you. And then exhale, bend at your knee. And one more time, extend the leg. Go ahead and kick through your big toe away from you. And then go ahead and kick now through your pinky side. Just really stretching both sides of your calves here. All right, go ahead and plant your hands nice and firm onto the earth as you step that right knee back down. Back to your tabletop. So make sure your wrists are below your shoulders and your hips are above your knees. And then go ahead and curl your left toes under. Press your shoulders away from the earth. And then lift that left leg up. Rotate that thigh in toward midline, kicking through your heel. And then exhale, bend at your knee behind you. And then go ahead and kick that left leg up as you draw your head back behind you toward your foot. Exhale, curl it in toward your heart center. Inhale, as you reach back behind you with your head and your foot. And then exhale, curl it in toward your heart center, round your shoulders, chin toward chest. And one last time. Inhale as you draw your head back, foot toward your head behind you. And then exhale, chin toward chest, knee toward heart. And then go ahead and step it through. But open that leg over to the outer edge of your mat. Outer edge of your front foot is parallel to the mat. And then go ahead and begin to come up onto your thigh. torso, or lift your torso onto your, or just lift it up. I don't even know what I'm saying half the time sometimes. Then go ahead and ground that left foot in. And then press your hips forward. Again, don't let your knee track past your ankle. And then if it is, just go ahead and walk that left foot forward a little bit further. Ooh, I feel the opening on the right side hip here. Feels really good. But make sure you're not just like dumping into it, you know? Lift your torso, engage the core. And then go ahead and plant your hands back down onto the mat. Curl your right toes under, so the back toes. Engage the thigh. Make sure you're drawing that thigh in toward midline. And then extend the leg. Feeling an opening down the backs of your hamstrings, but then also the Buddha bandhas and the muscles that wrap around your hips and low back are being stretched here. Feels so good. Keep exhaling. Following inhale. Go ahead and bend at your knee. And then plant your right hand, your right wrist over your right shoulder. And then open your left shoulder toward the left side. You can keep your hand on your low back for support. Maybe some are more advanced and they can stretch the arm over above toward the sky. Keep the right glute engaged. It's so bright. Take a couple of more inhales here, guys. Stick with it. You're following. Exhale, go ahead and bring it down. And then release your right knee onto the earth. Top of your foot comes on the mat. And go ahead and bring that leg extended back behind with you. Toes come up toward the sky. Go ahead and bend at your knee. Coming forward slightly, and then bring your hips back one more time, and then go ahead and kick or like press through your big toe, and then now bring it back and then press through your pinky toe side. You feel it on the outside of your calf here or your shin. And go ahead and bend at your knee, plant your hands onto the mat. As you curl your back toes under, step your foot back, top of a plank, open your fingers, your hand, your palms wide, and then you're opening the mat outward, you could say. Engage the thighs, bring your belly button back toward your spine. And then go ahead and exhale as you release your knees onto the earth. Bend at your elbows, coming forward and down. Inhale up, swoop for cobra. Tops of your feet are on the mat, heels together. Exhale, child's pose. Don't get too comfortable. Come up through your tabletop. Curl your back toes under. Exhale, up and back. With your hips for your downward facing dog, open your toes wide. Rotate your shoulders out away from midline. Tuck your belly button back toward your spine as you press your heart toward your thighs, lifting the hips up toward the sky and gently releasing your heels toward the earth as you press your shoulders away from the earth. Keeping the thighs engaged. Inhale through your nose into your low belly. Up the ribs and chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Keep breathing. Stay with it. On your following inhale, gaze up at your hands. Step your right foot forward. Release the left foot down. Right front leg is at a 90-degree angle. Square your hips to the front edge of the mat. Kick through your back knee. Inhale your arms up. Warrior one. Now, if you have a wall, let's go ahead and come to it. So right leg, 90-degree angle. Left leg is behind us. If our hips are open, that's for warrior two. Bring that back foot up just a little bit more. You'll eventually get there, as I will too. Bring that left hip forward. Draw the right hip back. Engage the thigh. Kick through your knee. Inhale your arms up. Press your knee into the earth. Press your knee into the wall. Open up. You can keep your hands on your hips or draw your hands all the way up toward the sky. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Okay, now let's go ahead and open up to our warrior two. So we're gonna open the back foot parallel to the outer edge of the mat. Right leg is still at a 90-degree angle. If it's burning, let it happen. Stick with it. Keep breathing, guys. Sometimes I have to walk my front foot forward just a little bit more. Really press through the outer edge of your back foot, and then sink your hips, but lift your pelvic bone, lift your torso, open your arms up. Go ahead and gaze through that front middle finger. Open your leg, your knee, your front knee into the wall. Press it toward the wall. Keep the back thigh engaged, the back glute. And then go ahead and do reverse warrior. So placing your hand behind your hamstring or by your calf. Lift your front arm up toward the sky. Keep pressing that front knee toward the wall. And go ahead and come cartwheel forward. Planting your hands onto the mat. Stepping the right foot back. Go ahead and wash it through vinyasa. Whatever that looks like to you. Different vinyasas are okay. Everybody has their own style. Go ahead and meet me back at a downward facing dog. But I would like for you to step the right foot forward in between your hands. Go ahead and inhale, come up. Through your crescent, open up to the long edge of the mat. And then place your feet, the outer edges of your feet parallel to the outer edges of the mat. And then placing your hands at your hips. Go ahead and inhale. Bring your hips stacked, or your torso stacked on top of your hips, drawing your belly button back towards your spine, opening your arms out to a T. Go ahead and reach over to the right side. Then wrap the right hand behind your low back. Lift the left arm up. Gaze at your thumb or middle finger. Take an exhale and then draw yourself back up. Opening your arms out to a T. Go ahead and reach to the left side and then wrap that left arm behind your low back. Lift the right arm up. Kind of like a reverse warrior, but in wide-legged stand. And then go ahead and come up through a T. Drop your hands back to your hips. Hinge at your hips, coming forward and down. Go ahead and keeping your hands here, drawing the crown of your head toward the earth. Go ahead and draw your shoulders back, elbows toward one another. Inhale as you rise back up to standing. We'll take that one more time as you exhale, belly button toward your spine, hinge at your hips, coming forward and down. And then go ahead and grab your peace fingers and grab them around your big toes. And then draw yourself forward as you bend at your elbows. Crown of your head comes toward the mat or the earth. If you are here, go ahead and place some weight onto your head. And then drawing the weight of your body, distributing it down your feet and your head. Go ahead and take an inhale as you rise. Halfway look up. Then place your hands out in front of you as you begin to slowly come up towards standing. All right, now we're gonna open our body over behind us. So let's go ahead and bend at the left leg. We're still at the wall. And then gazing that your front leg is at a 90-degree angle. Your back foot is coming to a 45-degree angle. So if you open up your palm like this, it's gonna be this angle right here. That's your foot, your hand. So you want to look at your hips, make sure that you're pressing your right hip forward, left hip pulls back, left leg, front leg, 90-degree angle. Draw your belly button back towards your spine. You can keep your hand at your hip here. Keep engaging the back thigh. That's going to give you a lot of support. Press through the outer edge of your back leg. Kick your knee up toward the sky. Draw your front knee toward the wall. And then you can keep your hand here on your hip or draw your hands up toward the sky. Warrior one. Inhale through your nose. Keep that back thigh engaged. It's going to give you the most support for this stance. You're following exhale. Go ahead and lift your torso. Relax the shoulders. Draw your arms by your ears. One more inhale. All right, go ahead and open up to a warrior two. So your back foot is going to open up parallel to the outer edge of the mat on the back side. Front leg is still at a 90-degree angle. Your hips are opening up. Woo. Draw that knee toward the wall. Keep the back thigh engaged. Open your arms out to a T. Gaze forward through your middle finger. Keep pressing that front knee toward the wall. Keeping your back glute engaged. Go ahead and draw yourself back to a reverse warrior. So if you're going to do this, place your hand onto your hamstring, your back thigh, or your calf, but not on your knee. It's very, very tempting. And then pull your front arm up toward the sky. Gaze at your middle finger or your thumb. Keep pressing that front knee toward the mat. toward the wall. Keep the back thigh engaged. And then go ahead and cartwheel yourself forward here, placing your hands onto the earth and then stepping that foot back so that you're on top of a plank, and then wash it through a vinyasa, whatever vinyasa style you wish to grab. And then we're all gonna meet at downward facing dog. Take a breath or two. Catch your breath here. This is also a resting pose. Excellent for resetting the mind, the breath. We're gonna come down to our knees. And then I want you to look at the screen really quick. We are going to use the wall to help us open up as if we were gonna go into like standing splits. So what you wanna do, we're gonna start low. So what you wanna do is definitely bring the mat toward the wall, because the knee can be a sensitive cartilage area. All right, and I know I need it. And then if you have a blanket or a towel, go ahead and grab that. So I'm going to place that down. So what I want to do is I want to give my back to the wall. And I am going to use, we're going to start with our right side. So stepping your left foot forward, and then your knee is going to go all the way back to meet the wall. So you want to curl your back toes under and just kind of walk yourself up all the way until, and then you want to keep shifting your front foot also. You want to walk your knee so that it's basically at that crease, the L shape of the wall. Top of your foot meets the wall. But then look behind you and ensure that you're pressing through your big toe, and then it's like in a straight line. Okay? So press through your big map toe, and then square your hips. Well, actually here, I'm gonna give you guys the freedom to listen to your body. And here you can have your front foot so that it's at hip width distance. Boom. Or if you have just like, you know, tighter hips or whatever, you can walk that front foot back, or sorry, out, away from midline, and then you can stay here, because this could be a lot already. Some people are flexible, some people are deeper in their practice. So what you can do is your knee is going to like rotate, so you're kind of coming into a lizard, and you're gonna maybe bring some blocks underneath you or some books. You can, so that you rise the earth toward you, or if you were, you know, deeper into it, you can draw your forearms to the earth, and then make sure that you're not just like dumping your neck, but you're gazing just slightly forward so that you have continuous focus. So let's go ahead and get in this pose if you haven't already been following, and then we're just gonna hold it for a few breaths. Go ahead and press yourself up, and then see if you can come onto your thigh with your arms, and if available to you, I would say walk your foot back toward midline a little bit. If available to you, see if you can press your torso and your back toward the wall. This just gives it a little bit of an extra stretch in the front hamstring or the front thigh. And go ahead and come onto your hands, and then to come out, I like to rotate away from the front leg. And then I draw that foot down. And now I'm going to switch. So hopefully you guys are doing this with me. So I'm going to step my right foot now, because I'm going to work on my left. And then I'm going to walk my foot up the wall as I grip the wall and I draw my knee back. And then I shift with my front foot as well. And then I'm going to do that one more time. However times it, you need. You want to draw your knee at that pit crease of the wall. Check with your back leg, make sure that you're in line. And then your front leg, each side is different, but your front leg, you give it the freedom to be a hip width distance. You can stay right here. This can be a lot for your knee. You don't have to be perfect at this. We can definitely chat about this and other options that maybe I could be giving on the other side, but I didn't, so I don't want to take the time to do it now that I'm on the opposite side. So if you are struggling with this, please feel free to message me. But since we did this on the first side, we're going to do it on the opposite side. And again, we can bring blocks here, or we can allow the knee to rotate with us, and then you can come down to your forearms, take a few breaths. Gaze at something just slightly ahead of you so that you remain focused. One more inhale and exhale. And then go ahead and press yourself up onto your hands, walking your foot in toward midline slightly if available to you. Go ahead and come onto your torso, drawing your belly button back towards your spine, lifting your torso. See if you can press the back of your body toward the wall. And then go ahead and come up to your hands and then rotate away from the extended leg in front. Ooh, that was a lot. Let's go ahead and come onto a seated hero pose. So we're gonna draw the tops of our knees or feet on the mat, heels toward one another. Sink your hips toward your heels, draw your torso up. Go ahead and bring your index and thumb fingers jointed. Place your palms onto your thighs and simply breathe here. Close your eyes for a moment. Just kind of feel and check in with how you're feeling right now. Check your breath. If your breath is speeding, go ahead and begin to count so that your exhales are longer than your inhales. If you're in a cool, calm state, remain right where you are, continue breathing normally. If you're feeling like you're tired, we're going to go ahead and bring a deeper sensation of awareness to our breath as you inhale through your nose. Allow the breath to travel around the crown of your head, down your neck, down your spine. Allow that breath to expand the corners of your belly. Exhale, belly button back towards your spine. Lift your torso, keeping your thighs, your glutes engaged. drawing your breath in toward your belly, up the ribs. Exhale, ribs. Exhale, belly. One more time. Inhale through your nose into your belly, up the ribs, and maybe chest. Exhale, chest. Relax the shoulders, ribs, and then belly. Take that one more time. Inhale into your belly, up the ribs, and up the chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and then belly. Back towards your spine. Go ahead and place one hand at your belly button, one hand at your low back. Go ahead and shift, stacking your torso on top of your hips. Draw your belly button back towards your spine. Engage your glutes and then lift the pelvic bones as you are rising just slightly off of your legs. You're not sitting on them, you're lifting off of them, but you're not lifted. It's all engaged. Relax the shoulders, lift the chest, chin parallel to the earth. Reach through the crown of your head up toward the sky. Go ahead and exhale. Draw your belly button back towards your spine as you come onto all fours. And then go ahead and bend at your elbows, coming all the way forward and down. I'm going to come back toward the sun, guys. Come onto your belly. As you extend your left arm over above you, reach your right arm behind you, and then bend at your right knee, reaching for that foot, and then pressing your hips into the earth, drawing your knees toward one another. Inhale, rise your torso, look ahead of you. As your front arm travels with you, rise up, pressing your foot into your hand lifts you up toward the sky, hips toward the earth, and then exhale, release it down. Go ahead and switch the arms. Top of your foot is on the mat. Your left knee bends. Your left arm reaches for that foot. Drawing your knees toward one another. Inhale, adjust your head and shoulder. Pressing your hips into the earth. Engaging your glutes. Lift as you inhale. Beginning to track your front arm with you as you rise your left leg up toward the sky, pressing your foot in toward your hands. Gaze ahead. Pressing your pelvic bones, your hips into the mat. And then exhale, release it down. Bring both of your arms by your sides. Rest your cheek onto the mat. Now go ahead and plant your hands onto the mat by your sides. And then we're going to lift our head, shoulders, and as much of our torso as possible, as well as our legs. So actually we're going to plant your hands into the earth and then lift your right leg up as much as you can toward your hip. Point your toes. And then exhale, release it down. We're going to take the left leg up. Point your toes, lift. exhale, release it down. Now go ahead and inhale your torso. Lift your hands behind you, up, and then lift your legs. Point your toes, draw your knees together, draw your heels together, draw your shoulders together. Lift a little bit higher. Exhale, bring it down. Now we're gonna bend both knees. We're gonna plant our hips into the mat. We're gonna reach for our feet with our hands. And we're gonna lift everything up for bow pose. So we're gonna press our feet into our hands. Our hands are gonna draw us up toward the sky. And we're gonna gaze forward as we lift our shoulders toward one another behind us, and our chest is coming forward and up. Let's go ahead and come onto your chin. Grab your feet or your ankles, wherever you are. Heels toward one another. Draw your shoulders back. Inhale, gazing forward. Begin to press everything as previously instructed. Knees together. They're going to want to open up. Lift them up. Feet into our hands. Exhale, hold. Inhale a little bit higher. And then exhale, release everything down. We're going to take that one more time, you guys. Take an exhale here. I could fall for Shavasana already. All right. Curl your toes. Bring your knees toward one another. And then bring your feet into your hands. Okay. Heels toward one another. Knees remain as tight together as possible. Draw your shoulders back behind you toward each other. So you lift your legs, press your feet into your hands, lift a little bit higher, gaze is forward and up. Knees want to push out, bring them in a little bit higher, and then exhale. Whew. Release it down. Rest your cheek. All right. Place your hands by your shoulders. We're gonna inhale, look up for cobra. Exhale, press to your child's pose. Inhale, look up, come to your tabletop. Walk your knees in between your hands. Sink your bum bums to the mat. And as per always, I love boat pose. Tilt onto your low back. Grab the backs of your knees, feet out in front of you, keeping your torso lifted. Gather yourself, regroup. Bring your hands out by your sides. And then go ahead and extend your right leg. Inhale. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, bring it in. We'll take both at the same time. Keeping your torso lifted. Exhale, bring it in. Give yourself a hug. And then go ahead and rock yourself back and forth a few times. Go ahead and release yourself back, all the way back, opening up into a quick happy baby. So you open your knees, your arms come in between your legs. You can wrap around your shins right here. Open up your knees away from midline. If available to you, keep reaching to the outer edges of your feet. Happy baby. one side and then the other. You can massage your low back, rocking side to side. And go ahead and release your feet, the soles of your feet on the mat, opening your arms by your sides, lifting your pelvic hips area, and then release it back down just to readjust the spine as you begin to soften your legs away from your hips, one after another. Closing your eyes into your Shavasana. We're not going to hang here too long, just breath by breath. Relax. Following inhale, begin to bring the awareness, the breath, back into your body. Wiggling out the fingertips, wiggling out the toes. Stretching your arms over above you like a morning sunrise. Rolling onto one side in the fetal pose, keeping your eyes closed. As much as possible, taking this time to thank yourself for giving your body the maintenance it requires of you. Gently pressing yourself up to your most comfortable seated Sukhasana. Drawing your hands to your heart center in gratitude. I am enough. I am more than enough. I am enough. I am more than enough. Thank you for letting me guide you through this practice, and I invite you on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time online to continue to join me. May my thoughts and my words be in alignment with my heart. Namaste. Blink softly, open your eyes, and you are good to go. Good job. Please comment below how this worked for you, and I'll see you on our next Tuesday class.